Okay, here, this guy's got an answer. Can somebody explain to me why this geographically perfectly situated Dallas Mavericks, great coach, great owner, no state tax, great real estate, affordable, beautiful women everywhere. By the way, Dallas is a star market. They love their stars. They love their stars. You've got a reasonable media. They're not down your throat. All right, Corey, you're a brand strategist?
Well, yes, I'm a brand strategist and graphic designer.
Okay, so why aren't the Mavs popular? Why?
Well, first of all, I mean, just from my perspective, the brand isn't strong. Mark Cuban's strong, but I just don't think, when I think of the Mavericks, and I think a lot of people would agree with me, especially in my field, when you think of the Mavericks, you don't think of, honestly, you don't even think of Dallas, but you don't even think of a strong brand. I mean, when you're thinking in my field, like the logo isn't necessarily strong. It's not a popular brand anywhere, and they're in Dallas. So when I think of the Cowboys, it's a minimalist brand. It's very strong. Jerry Jones has done a great job. When you think of the Cowboys, you think Dallas immediately. You think of the city. You think of the popularity of that area. But when you think of the Mavericks, the brand is just not catchy. It's just not there. So when you think of them, I kind of lump them into the same as I lump any kind of normal team. You know, you're just like, okay, cool, the Mavericks, but that's not Dallas. You know, it's just... No,
that's... Corey, you bring up a very interesting point. This is very interesting. I've never thought of that. But when I think of the Dallas Mavericks, I think of Mark Cuban and Dirk Nowitzki. I don't even think of Dallas. Right. It's a very good point. By the way, when I think of the Lakers, I think of sunshine, I think of showbiz, I think of staples, I think of lifestyle, I think of titles. The Laker brand to me, oh my God. I just think of magic and stars and winning and crowd and you're right, the Mavericks, I think of Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban's stronger than the Mavericks as a brand.
I agree. And one other thing that Mark Cuban did last year that kind of, I don't know if it edged everybody in the graphic design and branding world, but it edged me and some of my friends a little bit, was he put out a contest for regular people to come up with uniform design for the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know if you remember that. But he told anybody they could do it. And I'm like, as a brand strategist and as a graphic designer, that kind of hurts what you do. You're like, why aren't you hiring someone professionally to do something like this for you, who's put in the education, who understands the aesthetic of a good design or a good brand? But when you just put it out there like, man, anybody can do our jerseys, please just come up with a design and we'll pick the best one. It just kind of shows how valuable, how Mark Cuban may value the brand, which is not very much.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. Corey, I appreciate that, a brand strategist. It's a very interesting point. Is Mark Cuban's brand so strong it overshadows his team? I mean, as great as Jerry Buss was, he didn't overshadow the Laker brand. I mean, literally, when you think of the Lakers in Los Angeles, and when I think of the Lakers, I think of fun. I mean, just stars, fun, cocktails, night out, big city. It oozes out of the Staples Center. It just feels big and glossy and glamoury. That was a good call.